Hey, everyone. Welcome to the VO Boss podcast and the Real Boss series. I'm here, Ann Ganguza, with my good friend, Mr. Tom Dheere. Hello, Tom Dheere. How are you today?
I am good, Ann Ganguza. How are you?
I am relieved. Want to know why?
Yes, why?
Well, I had a scare this week where I all of a sudden went to go access one of my audio files to send to my client, and it said, no, there's no drive. And I went, oh my God, I lost my drive. And, you know, that's one of those things, I don't know if I'm on an Apple Mac or if you're on any kind of computer, when all of a sudden the drive doesn't show up, you're like, oh my God, let me unplug it, let me replug it, let me unplug it, replug it, and you wait to hear it spin up. And, you know, back in the day when I used to work in technology, it was a thing. I mean, your backup plan had to be solid because you could not lose any data. And it used to be very complex where you would have like RAID systems and you would have like dual backup systems and you'd pay a lot of money to have systems backing up to other things. And I'll tell you what, I got so paranoid. I unplugged my drive, plugged it back in, nothing. Same thing, did it multiple times, unplugged it from the cord. I rebooted my computer. Nothing happened. But I'll tell you, I was saved by my favorite tool in the world, which is called Backblaze, which backs up all of my data onto a cloud. And I was able to restore the data that I needed to send to my client to another external drive that I have and do it within the next couple hours. It was actually a few terabytes, right? Because my drive, I put everything, Tom, and I think we can talk about this. I have since, because I worked in technology, I put everything that's important on an external drive, and that drive gets backed up multiple times. And that way I don't ever have to worry about like, oh gosh, if I need to update I never put anything important on my main computer drive. Always on an external drive that gets backed up because it's easy.
I think this leads into an extremely important lesson that we could just start right off with for all you bosses out there is do not be 100% cloud dependent with your data and do not be 100% external hard drive or internal hard drive dependent with your data.
Back them up.
Back them up. Make sure that they are backing each other up. What I have Norton 360, which is generally Norton is known for its antivirus software, and Norton 360 does that. But what it also does is it backs up my hard drive every single day up to 1 terabyte. And like you, I have very little actual data on the hard drive of my desktop computer itself. I also use Google Drive's Google Workspace. If you have Google, if you have a Gmail account
or Dropbox,
Gmail address,
same thing.
Yep, you can use Dropbox
It's backed
as
up
well.
all the time.
You can use OneDrive. You could use Box. You could use Crash Plan. You could use Carbonite. I used to use Carbonite for a very long time, and I was very happy with it. And then I realized I had Carbonite, Box, Dropbox, OneDrive, and Google Drive, and I realized it was so redundant. So my primary cloud-based like data storage is a combination of Google Drive with Google Workspace and Norton 360. Yeah. And I also have an external hard drive, which I will actually occasionally hook up and physically back everything up and put it away. So I've got like two cloud-based and one drive, external hard drive based home base for all of my data in case something bad happens with one or heaven forbid two of them.
It's been a lifesaver. I'll tell you what. So Backblaze, just my favorite. By the way, I'm an affiliate, guys. I'm going to put a link for you if you like it. What I love about Backblaze is that basically you just set it to work. And it works like seamlessly in the background. It backs up like every minute of the day. It backs up and it doesn't take a lot of resources on your system. So every time if you create a file, it's just going to be backing it up to the cloud. And then it's really simple. You go to your account on the cloud and you restore it. And it basically just keeps the most current backup. You can keep backups, different versions of backups. If you have like version 1 of a file, version 2 of a file, you can keep up all the versions of your backups from up to a year. It just really depends. And it's it is super reasonable. I think I pay $99 a year. So I use that in combination with Dropbox. I have like, 3 terabytes for Dropbox, and that I keep all my student data on, and that way I can share my drive with my clients and my students, and that is my Dropbox, which is always backed up, so I don't have to worry about that data either. So I use the combination, and I also have a Google Drive. So those are my cloud-based, is Dropbox and Google, and then my Backblaze, which is my backup for all my drives that I have on my computer. And I only put important stuff on my external drives. That way, if I need to update my operating system, I don't have to worry about restoring all the other data onto that main drive on my computer.
Yeah.
And it has, you can, even with Backblaze, you can order, like if you have, I had a 4 terabyte drive or a 5 terabyte drive. If the entire drive goes, which drives do, I mean, they have a lifespan, you can actually just order a replacement drive, and it ships out within like 2 to 3 days. And it's an encrypted drive that you can actually just plug in via USB, and then ultimately you have that mirrored drive so that you don't have to restore the data through the cloud, because sometimes if you do have 5 terabytes of data, let's say if you have video, it could take an awfully long time to restore through the online version. And so you can just order a drive. And I've done that 2 times. So that's one of my favorite tools, Tom. So what are some of your other favorite tools that you have to run your business?
Pardon my coughing there for a second.
No problem.
From the water. Just went down the other way. I do, like I said, I do use Google Drive regularly. If you have a Gmail account, I think you already get 15 gigs of storage space. But with Google Workspace, you get 2 terabytes for like $15 a month. And I also use it to synchronize my email. Actually, that's really exciting. The ability to synchronize my email in Gmail with my phone, my desktop, my laptop, and my tablet, so I can access my emails anytime I want. But other tools that I've really been enjoying lately is, now this is something that comes up a lot. Voice actors of all parts of their journey desperately want to get their hands on the finished product, which is most of the time the finished video of a voiceover that they did. Most of the time commercials or explainer videos or things like that. So I have a 2-pronged system. Number one, I go to YouTube once a month. I'm on YouTube every day. Who am I kidding? But I mean, for this exercise, I go to YouTube, and I have a list of all the voiceover jobs that I did in the previous quarter or previous month. And I look at all the front-facing stuff, all of the commercials and explainers, the things that would be normally, exposed to the public, not like the e-learning modules and the internal corporate stuff.
Stuff that has been published publicly.
Published publicly, exactly. And then what I'll do is I'll find all of them, or find the ones that I can. I will save them to a playlist in YouTube, and I have a playlist for every genre of voiceover that I've done.
Yep, me too.
But this is where the tool comes in. I download the YouTube video. There is a specific software that I use called Any Video Converter. We'll put the link down there. It's absolutely free. Any video, I think it's just anyvideoconverter.com, and then you download that free software, and all you do is paste the YouTube link in, and then it says, do you want audio only, video only, or audio and video? You download it, and it downloads it to your computer, and then you can save it. And this is why this is really important. It's important for 2 reasons. Number one, a lot of us want to use professional samples of stuff that we've done to add to our demos.
Yes.
And we want to use it to add to our online casting site profiles, our samples, our sample lists and playlists on Voice123 and other places. But here's the other thing, is that YouTube videos don't necessarily stay there forever. They're not necessarily evergreen. I have had multiple videos over the years where I went to go look at it, and it was gone.
Yeah.
Or it was linked to my website, tomdheere.com, and the video is just not there. There's just gray static, or this video is no longer there. So what you can do is that if you keep that video by downloading it using any download converter, any video converter, or another the software of your choice, you can then upload it back to your website.
Right.
Or maybe even upload it back onto YouTube and continue to have it as part of your portfolio.
I just want to make sure that it's noted that you have permission and that it's public facing to begin with. So make sure that it's public facing. Sometimes if you don't have permission from the company, it's always nice. I mean, it's a part of my, thank you so much. It's been wonderful working with you. I always say, if you have a link to the final video, I would really appreciate it. I'd love to see the final product. It was so great working with you. But a lot of times people are busy and that doesn't happen. And so, yeah, if it ultimately shows up on their website or it shows up on a YouTube, then ultimately it's public facing. And then I am assuming that it's public facing, it's public property, and that I can take that any video converter and download it. And yeah, now you own it. You can put it back up on YouTube if you want. It's a video that's not going to disappear all of a sudden off of your website if you happen to embed it. But yeah, that's a great tool, and it's wonderful to be able to show not only your demos but work that you've done, and you want that work to exist. So yeah, that's a great. I love that, Tom, because you actually go like and actively seek it out, because sometimes I lose track of the jobs that I do, and then it's like, oh darn, I wish I had that job to showcase. Right, here's an example of what my voice sounds like in this particular job or here on this website. And I used to actually post the link or embed the YouTube link from their site onto my website. But you're right, it disappeared from mine after a while. Sometimes people just don't keep those videos up on their YouTube. So having it for your own is a wonderful, wonderful tool. And that any video converter, yeah, definitely.
Yep. And that task is on my monthly action plan. It is one of the things that I do every single month. It's in the tools section of my monthly action plan. Download new YouTube videos and save to playlists.
Wow.
This also applies to Vimeo as well. So you could also look around, because there's some clients that prefer Vimeo over YouTube, which it's a great platform. I love Vimeo, but YouTube just has so much more SEO clout.
Well, I love Vimeo because I use Vimeo. I have a Vimeo account as well as YouTube, but I have a Vimeo account because if you want to password protect, you can do that on Vimeo. So that helps me when I do my VO Peeps events and people are requiring access to the videos. I password protect them.
Well, so. I'll bounce the ball back to you, Anne. What is another tool that you enjoy using?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. Let's see. I'm gonna go the AI route, and I'm gonna say I have a couple AI tools that really, really help me in crafting emails to my clients that are super fast and efficient, and they help me just, I'll just say first of all, I have a professional version of ChatGPT, which I think is well worth the $20 a month, and I also have Copy AI, which I pay for on a yearly basis. It uses ChatGPT, but it also has different features kind of built in. So depending on what I want to do, it has a little more marketing aspect to it. So it can create like more marketing funnels for me if I want. ChatGPT, I can ask it just about anything. But again, both of them are the premium versions, and I use it for anything. Sometimes I'll just ask questions and I'll say, hey, craft an email response to my client that includes the following points. Or I'll have started a particular email and I'm like, I just don't have the time to like word this professionally. So let me cut and paste it and I'll say, just reword this professionally and in my voice. So you can train your little ChatGPT AI bot to have your voice in it. And so I use it constantly for crafting professional emails and basically doing a lot of web writing that I might have to do if I want to like craft my bio. I need to create a nice bulleted course list here, and that sort of thing. I'll say, go to this webpage and tell me what are the major points. What are the summary points of this particular course that I can then utilize. So it's just, training your robot like training your dragon is really a wonderful thing.
Cool. Well, I also have two favorite AI tools, both of which are parallel to the ones that you just recommended. You're a paid user for ChatGPT. I am a Gemini fan myself. Gemini is the Google-powered AI version of OpenAI's ChatGPT. You do need to pay for it, but if you have a Google Workspace account, like I just talked about a few minutes ago, that I use to get more drive space and synchronize all of my emails and all of my devices, you also get access to Gemini. I've been using it very heavily for the past 3-4 months or so.
And what do you use it for? What sorts of things?
I use it professionally and personally. I ask it all kinds of questions, looking for statistics or data or potential voiceover leads. And what happened was a few months ago, I'm here in New York City. I was invited by a Google Wix co-production talking about Google Gemini and then how to use Google Gemini to write blogs. in Wix.
Sure,
Not necessarily
sure.
write them for you, but like to just kind of help you come
Spark
up with
ideas.
spark ideas, maybe give you some outlines, and then you can put your own creative flair and writing style in it. I will give a quick AI prompt tip. Two things. Number one, always tell your AI who they are before you ask the question. So like if you have a question about social media, you always say, you are a social media expert. Then you ask the question. I don't pretend to understand how any of this works, but I do know that if you kind of put them in the, for lack of a better term, frame of mind, it will give you more accurate answers.
Yeah. Give me a more professional answer. Give me a friendlier, give me more conversational. Yeah, you can absolutely. And you can refine it as you go.
Oh, I refine them constantly.
Yeah.
Like what's nice about in Gemini is on the left side, it has a link to every single conversation that I've had. And I refer back to them regularly. The other tip is always say please and thank you.
Yeah.
For some weird reason, they have noticed that, and this may be a little scary, that the nicer you are when you're asking questions,
the better quality
you're going to get. I know that's just a little creepy, but
well, yeah, you don't want to be angry. I mean, a lot of times people are like, "No, that's the wrong, you stupid idiot." You know what I mean? You should not talk to Alexa that way either. By the way, just saying.
Right? You don't want to do that either.
No, because you want them to treat you right.
And every time you do that, you're
training your AI dragon.
Yeah, you're feeding the algorithm. You're training your AI dragon. So the other one is you asked about AI is that with AI, and you were talking about something to help you with your emails, is I have also found another one which I also happen to be affiliate with. So it's Warmy.io, like warm is in warm you up. It's all about basically how to craft your email. So
nice.
And you can, and I think it's prompt oriented. I'm not 100% sure.
Do you pay for a professional version of that?
I think there are different. I believe there's different tiers, like there are with a lot of these programs. I just started my affiliate partnership with them, so I'm exploring all the wonderful things that it can do. But Warmy.io, that's my other favorite AI tool.
Well, I've got one more. One more that I use, and that's Podium. And Podium, so Podium has, for a long time, I've used Podium for a good year or two now, I think. Podium takes my VO Boss podcasts and it crafts out my notes. It crafts out my show notes. It crafts out takeaways. It really is a wonderful, and I found that works the best. I mean, I can put anything into ChatGPT, but the cool thing about Podium is I can feed it in MP3. So I can take a final MP3 of my episode and I can say, craft out 10 takeaways from this. And ultimately, I do have to go through everything. I think it's always advisable no matter what. If you're working with AI, you always have to go through it. You always need the human touch, right? You need to sometimes it'll come up with some weird things, but for the most part, it does the best summaries. And it's the only one that I have that will take an MP3 or a video and transcribe it, and then it can create a blog out of it as well, which is super powerful because once you can get from there to the blog, then you can tweak the blog. So it really has done a lot to help me, and so that's Podium. And yes, I'm an affiliate of Podium too. So guys, bosses out there, if you find tools that you like, you can always, create a little affiliate membership with that, because I mean, even if it's a few cents a month, it's a few cents a month. It's something that and I have people who follow me that I don't steer them wrong. I'm not gonna be an affiliate of a product that I don't love and that I wouldn't recommend. And so that's the way I really feel that I've gotten people who follow me that trust my recommendations. And these tools that Tom and I love, I mean, we recommend them wholeheartedly. It's not something, because affiliate memberships I don't think make you enough money to I mean, I'm not just going to sign up for everything and become an affiliate. Right. It's only going to be the stuff that I absolutely love and the stuff that I'm going to talk about. And I got a little key fob the other day, and so that people can scan the key fob, and I can become an affiliate of that, so that they can scan the key fob and go get all my contact information, go to every website that I have, and it's really a lot of fun. And I'll be testing that out at VO Atlanta, so that's going to be really cool too. So all these tools that Tom and I are talking about are stuff that we've tested and stuff that we recommend. And so, bosses, that's another part of your income journey, really, is thinking about products you love and maybe thinking about becoming affiliates of them. any other tools, Tom? And I've got one more that I'm going to talk about that I love.
It's funny because I wanted
It might be the same one.
I wanted to say that we are recording this right now using a fabulous tool called Riverside.
Yes.
And Ann and I
love
have been
Riverside.
I have been a guest hosting on the VO Boss for a couple of years now, and she's been using Riverside, and I think it's a fantastic program. The one that I use when I have guests, when I am doing recorded video chats, is I use StreamYard.
Oh yeah.
They're both very similar. They have their own sets of bells and whistles, but both of them are fantastic. So if you're looking to start a podcast, or if you just want to record conversations, Riverside or StreamYard, both of them are fantastic.
And here's one that I think we both have in common, Tom. I know that you use it, and it is my graphic wonder, Canva. I love Canva. Canva changed the game. I'll tell you what. And I'm not saying that I'm a graphic artist, because nothing would ever replace my web designer, because my web designer is an amazing graphic artist. There's something about being able to see and visualize graphics and where they go, and putting them together and making them look good. But if you're just a beginner and you need to do a few social media graphics, you need to do certain things like remove a background, you cannot go wrong with Canva. I've been using Canva for years. It is an absolute favorite tool of mine.
I use it constantly. I mean, for those of you who have watched any of my how-to videos, or have been in a workshop with me where I'm doing a presentation, I use Canva. I'm pretty sure, Ann, you also have the Canva Pro. You have you have the paid version, Canva Pro.
I do.
So do I. I mean, it's got so many functions. You'd be shocked at the amount of things that it can make. I mean, I primarily use it for my how-to videos and presentations, but I also use it for making thumbnails for my YouTube videos. And it's got a great
graphics.
It's got a great library of content, and you can upload all of your content as well. And also, I'm going to give myself one other plug.
Tom.
I'm going to give myself one other plug. Is if you there's a bunch of apps that you can have called up on the left side of your Canva. There is one which is to add an AI voice to your presentations, and one of my AI voices is one of those voices. So yes, you can actually click on that, and you can have me voicing your content.
To my next presentation, I'm going to add Tom Dheere's voice to my next presentation. But that's awesome. I love Canva, and Canva, the Canva Pro. And remember, Tom, back in the day when you were creating, let's say, a website or a social media graphic, and you would subscribe to these places where you could buy the graphics. The rights to the graphics, because you need to be legal about these things. You can't just be stealing graphics and downloading graphics. Canva has a great, in the Canva Pro version, has a great great amount of graphics that you can use that are built within it and licensed. So you don't have to pay for another tool to get your graphics. So you can get professional graphics if you need a studio graphic to put in the background of one of your social media posts. You can download it from Canva, and the license is there, and you're clear.
Yeah, what's very interesting is that when you can just run searches in their library to find graphics and stuff like that. And then if you have the Canva Pro account, I don't know if you've noticed this, Ann, is when you click on stuff and you use it, it'll say, you just saved this amount of money.
Oh, yeah, right.
Right? Because if you didn't have a Canva Pro account, you would have had to pay a la carte for all of these graphics. But as part of the Canva price, the Canva annual fee, you can get access to all of those graphics for free. And you are using them legally and lawfully.
Yeah, I love it. And I love knowing that I'm using them legally and lawfully, because that used to be a worry for me. I mean, I used to be like, oh my God. And each graphic I would pay, even sometimes I'd go to those websites. Like, I think I had an Envato Elements account that, I could go and get the graphics and use those for my social media. And it's just nice because it's built into Canva already. And Canva has everything that you use these days has AI built into it, guys. There's really not much that I think you're going to be using tool-wise that isn't going to have some sort of AI built into it. So again, it's one of those things where I know we need to be careful of it for our voices, and we need to make sure that we're getting compensated. Make sure that, any tool that you're using that has AI built into it, that you're within the confines of, your own ethical ethical thoughts and what you think is right and fair compensation. And Tom, you're getting paid for that voice that you have in the middle of Canva, so that's good. And so tools that are ethically sourced, right, that are using AI, I think it's just going to be so embedded into a lot of our tools these days that we're not even going to notice anymore. And it's going to be like, I always tell people with voice over IP, back in the day, I used to install voice over IP phone systems, and people, it was like, oh no, it'll never work. But honestly, that's all we use these days. There's not one phone call you make that isn't going over an internet or a network, a data line. And there's no more like POTS lines that are installed. Back in the day, they were plain old telephone POTS lines, POT. And so nowadays, all of your communication goes over, data lines, and that is voice over IP, really. Same thing with AI. It's going to be embedded in just about everything that we do. So just be careful and be thoughtful. But these tools are something that I can't live without now. I mean, really.
Me too. I don't know where I'd be without Canva and all the tools we just talked about today.
I don't know where I would be without my Alexa telling me how many ounces are in a tablespoon, or how many, when I need to do some simple conversion. I mean, we're talking like everyday life. So, these are just some of our favorite tools. Tom, I'd love to do another episode in a few months from now to see if we've come up with any other favorite tools. But
that's a great idea.
I love sharing tech geeky gadgets because I'm kind of a tech girl, and I think we've come up with a really great list. And guys, we'll list all of that in the show notes for you today. And thank you so much, Tom, for yet another wonderful, enlightening episode.
Thank you. Always glad to be here.
Big shout out to our sponsor, IPDTL, which I use every single day, by the way, guys. IPDTL I use for all of my student communications. I love it. It's wonderful. People can record. It's super easy. And you can find out more at ipdtl.com. Guys, have an amazing week, and we'll see you next week. Bye.